Have you ever looked at a prescription from your doctor and felt like you were trying to crack some kind of ancient code?
Yeah, you're not alone.
So today, we're going to decode that small but incredibly important piece of paper and uncover all the vital health information that's packed inside.
You know, a prescription is so much more than just a quick note. Think of it like a detailed roadmap for your health, one that's filled with history, hidden meanings, and, most importantly, a ton of safety features designed to protect you. So what secrets is your prescription holding? Let's dive in and find out.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. What exactly is a prescription? It seems pretty simple on the surface, but it is way more than just a slip of paper.
The best way to think about it is like a secure, direct message. It's a line of communication straight from your doctor, who knows what you need, to your pharmacist, who's the expert on medications. It's this absolutely critical link in the chain of your care that keeps everyone on the exact same page.
Now here's where things get really serious. A prescription is not just a friendly suggestion. It is a legally binding instruction. And that legal weight is what makes the whole system work. It ensures accuracy, it helps prevent the misuse of powerful drugs, and it makes the entire process safe and accountable for everybody involved.
All right, so now that we know what it is, let's get to the fun part and actually break down its language. We're going to go through the different parts of a typical prescription and see what each one is really telling us.
So, a prescription basically has four main parts. You've got the superscription, which is that famous RX symbol that kicks the whole thing off. Then comes the inscription, which spells out the details of the medicine itself. After that, you have the signa. Those are your personal instructions. And finally, the prescriber's info, which makes it all official. Let's take a closer look at each one.
Let's start with that RX symbol. It's more than just shorthand for prescription. It actually has a really cool history. It's believed to have originated from a symbol for Jupiter, the Roman god of healing. So every time a doctor writes it, they're kind of echoing this ancient plea for recovery. Pretty neat, huh? Next up is the inscription. This is the real heart of the prescription. For more complex, custom-made medicines, it's kind of broken down like a recipe. The base is the main ingredient that's doing all the heavy lifting. An adjuvant might be tossed in to boost the effect, or even just to make it taste better. And the vehicle is the carrier, like syrup or water, that delivers it all.
Okay, this next part is arguably the most important one for you. It's the signa, often shortened to SIG. These are your marching orders. How much to take, how often, whether you need food or not, every single detail you need to take the medication safely and effectively is right here. This is the part you really want to double check.
So, we've gone through what's on the paper. But what happens next? Once you hand it over, what's going on behind that counter? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the incredibly careful process pharmacists follow to turn that piece of paper into your medicine. It's a very methodical process. The pharmacist takes the prescription, and then they go over every single detail with a fine-tooth comb. Then they gather all the right ingredients, prepare the medication, and label it perfectly. Each step is a vital safety check, and they only handle one prescription at a time to prevent any mix-ups. It's a whole system built on precision and care.
And at the heart of that whole process is a really simple but powerful rule, the 3-read rule. Pharmacists are trained to read a drug's label when they take it off the shelf, they read it a second time when they're measuring it out, and they read it one last time before they put the bottle back. It's such a simple habit, but it's an incredibly effective way to catch potentially dangerous errors.
But even with all those checks and balances, the system isn't completely foolproof. Sometimes the prescription itself can have mistakes, or things that are just plain confusing. Let's look at where these errors can hide and what everyone needs to watch out for. One of the classic and most dangerous sources of error is from drugs that look or sound alike. For example, take digitoxin and digoxin. They sound almost identical, and they're both heart medications, but they are absolutely not the same thing. A mix-up here could be really serious, which is why crystal clear handwriting and spelling are so essential. And the list of potential problems just goes on. You've got vague abbreviations that can cause confusion. Sometimes the drug's strength is missing, or it's the wrong form, like a tablet instead of a liquid. Doses that seem way too high or way too low are also huge red flags that a pharmacist is trained to spot, and they'll always call the doctor to clarify before giving you any medication.
So all of this brings us to the final and I think most important piece of the safety puzzle, you. Knowing how to read your own prescription isn't just interesting. It actually makes you an active, empowered participant in your own healthcare.
So here's the big takeaway. Be your own health advocate. Always check that your name and the date are correct. Read those signa instructions and make sure you really understand them. Know the name of the drug you're taking and what it's for. And please, Never ever be afraid to ask your pharmacist to walk you through it. A simple question can prevent a serious mistake.
And that leaves us with one final thought. We started this by calling a prescription a legal order, a document. But when you know how to read it and you know what to ask, it really transforms, doesn't it? It stops being just an order and becomes the start of a conversation between you, your doctor, and your pharmacist. A conversation that puts you in control of your own health.